Hi, it's Jill with the Here's to Your Health podcast. Today we have Elizabeth Lozano, a student here with her rotation with the pharmacy department. So I'm going to have you introduce yourself, Elizabeth.
Yes, my name's Elizabeth. I'm a student pharmacist from the University of Iowa. I was born and raised in Bondurant, Iowa, and have been here for the past 3 weeks completing a rotation with one of the pharmacists.
Very good. Have you enjoyed your time here?
Yeah, I have. It's been an amazing experience.
Great. I know today you wanted to talk about a little bit about bat bites.
Yes.
Yes, so we're going to learn all of this from you. So can you tell us why it's important to learn about the bats?
Yeah, learning about bats is very important. They are very important in our ecosystem, especially here in Iowa, because they play a huge role in pollinating plants, dispersing seeds, and controlling insect populations, which can be very helpful for our farmers. Although that does not mean bats can't be harmful. Bats are actually the #1 species in Iowa that carry rabies, and they actually most cases of rabies in the United States are caused by bats.
Okay.
Therefore, it is very important to be educated on how we can handle bats when we come into contact with them, what to do when we're bit, and how to prevent them from entering our homes.
Okay, so do all bats have rabies?
No, not all bats have rabies, but it is still important to become educated on the possible signs that a bat may have rabies. For example, bats are generally only active at night and like to stay away from humans. Mm-hmm. So if you do find a bat in an unusual place, like your home or on the ground, especially during the day because they are nocturnal animals, it is safe to assume that they might have rabies, and you should avoid them as best as possible. With that being said, bats that act strangely, such as approaching humans or animals, and are not able to fly, usually are 10 times more likely to be infected with rabies.
Okay, good tips there. So what should we do if we find a bat inside a home?
If you do find a bat inside your home, you should take safety precautions to avoid touching them.
Okay.
Therefore, you should try to close all windows and doors in the room that they are located to prevent them from entering other rooms of your house. It is best to call your local animal control or health department to have the bat removed, but if that is not possible, you can remove them yourself. To do this, you should put on leather gloves and find a container and a piece of cardboard that you can use to capture it. Remember, you should never touch a bat with your bare hands, even if it is dead. When the bat lands, you should slowly move towards it and capture them in the container. Once captured, move the cardboard under the container to trap them inside. But if you do know for sure that you did not come into contact with a bat, or another person or pet didn't come in contact with a bat, you may release them outdoors. But keep in mind that bats cannot take flight off the ground, so it is better to release them from an elevated space so that they are able to get away and just don't lay on the ground and die.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I was doing my research. It's very interesting though.
How can I know if I come in direct contact with a bat?
When bats bite, their bites are actually very small, so they're usually less than 1 millimeter in size, and they might not even be visible. With that being said, even if you do not see a mark on your body or another person's body or pet's body, that does not mean that they weren't bitten. Therefore, if you believe you were bitten, scratched, or if a bat's saliva came into contact with an open wound or cut, you should seek medical care. In addition, if you do find a bat inside the same room as an infant, an unattended child, a sleeping person, or someone that is unable to confirm that they were not bitten, then they should also seek medical care as well. In cases like these where you do find a bat inside your home and you are able to capture it, that would be ideal, because then you can get the bat submitted for testing, and that's helpful in trying to find the best course of treatment for you.
How can I get the bat tested?
Yeah, to get the bat tested, you should bring it into Crawford County Memorial Hospital. Make sure to have the bat in a tightly enclosed container so that it cannot escape if it is still alive. And then when giving it to a person, or when giving it to a healthcare professional here, make sure to tell them that the bat is alive when giving it to them, if it is alive. Otherwise, if it is dead, just make sure that they know that there is a bat in the box, so that they're not handling it with their bare hands or reaching inside the box. After bringing it into the Crawford County Memorial Hospital, they will either have it sent off to the State Hygienic Lab or Iowa State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab for testing.
Okay. What treatment would I receive after being exposed to a bat?
Yeah, so after being exposed to a bat, you should definitely come into Crawford County Memorial Hospital or another hospital located near you, so that they can determine the best course of treatment for you. The general course of treatment for bat bites is usually a rabies immunoglobulin shot. It's injected around the wound, and then you'll also have a 4-dose series of the rabies vaccine spread over a span of 14 days, as well as immediate wound care. Providers may opt to wait till lab results come back if you were able to get the bat submitted for testing, because in some cases, if the bat does not have rabies, you do not need to receive treatment.
Okay, so what happens if I don't receive treatment and the bat does have rabies?
If you are bitten by a bat or another animal and exposed to rabies without seeking medical care before symptoms appear, you may be at serious risk for brain inflammation. And that is nearly 100% fatal because there is no effective treatment for rabies after symptoms begin. That is why it is extremely important to seek medical care if you have been in contact with a bat.
Yes, that sounds pretty scary.
Yeah, it can be.
So how can I prevent bats from coming in my home?
So to prevent bats from entering your home, you should check your house for any opening where they could get in. Surprisingly, openings as small as 1/4 of an inch is big enough for a bat to squeeze through and enter your house. So you should block entry points and caulk any opening larger than a dime, fill electrical and plumbing holes, and ensure doors and windows are tightly closed at all times.
Well, this has been some great information, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing everything that you've researched while you've been here doing your rotation.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, well, hopefully we see you again soon.
Yes.